Right, today we're going to look at folk picking pattern. So it's like a generic picking pattern that you would do. So sometimes we just strum chords. And then sometimes you might just pick through them like... Well, what I mean by folk picking pattern is this kind of feel. So you can use this pattern with every song you do. You might be doing a Bob Dylan song and you think it's got this quirky little picking thing. So there's a few template things you can do to make it sound, give that folk feel. So if you look at the PDF form, you will see that I've put C and A shape have got their own picking pattern. D shape's got its own picking pattern. And E and G shape's got its own picking pattern. Now, really, it's the same picking pattern. If you can see, they all look symmetrical when you look down the sheet, but they're all on different strings. So that accommodates for the different type of shape. So when it says D shape, it means it'll work with a D, it'll work with a D minor, a D7, D minor 7, D major 7. You know, any type of D shape you can come across, this pattern here will work with that. So I'll do a D minor, D major 7, D7. Right, okay. So then you got C and A shape. So that'll work with any type of C shape or any type of A shape. Alright, so we're going to just go ahead and learn it. So let's start on the D chord. So that's the one on the middle, the one on the PDF. So the reason I'm starting on the D is because it's using these first 4 strings, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little technique I do with students, and we're just going to stack up the rhythm. Because the rhythm is 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 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 Okay, so if you look, there's a T next to it, and that's your thumb. That means the thumb on this hand. Nothing to do with this. So that's where your thumb places. So let's start in a D shape, and I want you to pick the 1st and 4th string together. Okay. If you're getting it buzzing, you might want to hook your hand round here. See that D chord? So pick the 1st and 4th chord first and 4th note together. And then you're going to hit with the thumb on the 3rd string. So it goes. Let's get that right together. So the 1st and 4th together, and then the 3rd string with your thumb. And then we're going to hit the 2nd string with your finger. So watch. 4, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4. Okay, so the next note is the thumb on the 4th string. So we got 1. Alright, so the next note is the 1st string with your finger. So let's put that at the end of what we just got. If at any point this seems a bit confusing, just rewind to the point where we start doing this picking pattern. Okay, so your last note is the 3rd string with your thumb. So when you hit that 1st string, you hit your thumb there. So listen. can see how it stacks up, and you can see when you've got used to it, it sounds like that traditional folky picking sound. And once you learn it, it rolls off the fingers kind of nice. It's not some disjointed picking thing. It just feels like that, like you're moving really smooth. If you notice, my hand looks pretty relaxed. And a good thing when you're learning this, don't be digging into the strings, but picking it hard, because even though it seems like I'm being aggressive, I'm not really. I'm really just hitting it very gentle, but it's the fact that it's fast makes you feel that it might be a bit aggressive, but it's totally not. I'm pretty much stroking the strings. So that worked with any D shape, D7, D minor 7, D minor. Anything D shape driven will do that. Alright, so let's look at the A and the C shape. So let's just look at an A chord, and we'll do this pattern. If you notice on the pattern, it is exactly the same, but we're moving up a string. So really get used to that D shape, so when you move it up a string, it's not much of a challenge. So that would mean that our first port of call for picking on the anything with a C or an A shape would be the second and fifth string. And then you would play the fourth string with your thumb, so, and then the third string with your finger, so. And then you're going to hit the fifth string with your thumb, so much. And then you're going to hit the second string and then the fourth string with your thumb, so. So A minor, A7, A major 7, just an A7 sus4. See, anything with this A shape you can do, any type of A. So I'll do all the C's, C, C7, C major 7. We don't do a C minor because it's not very practical in this open position, because you've got a major third in the first string, which is a bit hard to flatten. Okay, so let's look at the E and the G shape. So this is similar to the C and A shape, but you're moving just the first thumb up a string. So if we have an E minor is nice and easy to play. So we're going to be pinching the second and sixth string. So, and then your thumb has got to jump a string here. Where normally we're used to your thumb jumping to the next available string, it's going to be jumping a whole string. So watch this. So that's going to be your first little move. So second and sixth string, and then your thumb on the fourth string, and then pick the third string, so thumb on the top string, so, okay, and then the next two strings are the second string and the fourth string, so. So that's a bit trickier because you've got to skip a string with the thumb. So then you can notice a pattern between them all. That what's happening is your thumb is constant. So if I went back to the D shape, watch this. Your thumb's driving the folk picking Same with anything on the A shape. And with the E and G shapes. So if you notice, your thumb has to jump a string there from the 6th string to the 4th string. So that's a bit trickier because it's got a long way to go, the thumb. Not too bad. So what you want to do from here is just take a nice simple song. So if I just look at like a D, C to G. So a nice easy chord sequence. So on the D I'm going to go C, G, D, C, G. So once you get used to moving around the shapes, you'll find that you can just use this on a lot of songs, and it's kind of like a little impressive thing. It sounds quite fast once you get it going, and I think your friends and family will be pretty impressed with it. You can apply it to pretty much any song you want to turn it into a folky sort of feel. So I hope that helps. Any questions, if you're stuck on anything, just comment and I'll respond to it. So hope you enjoyed that.